Hello, it's me, Lost in the World. Time to discuss busing. For those who are unaware, busing is something that a high level character does in Lost Ark to generate extra gold. Rather than play with their guild or friends, they will normally find as few players as humanly possible to complete the raid, while other low high level players sit AFK. Normally people charge 50 to 75% of the gold received from the dungeon. Normally, more on that later. Is this an issue? Well, I've got to be honest, personally, I'm not a fan for a variety of reasons. Most of it's linked to the health of the game in the Western release. The only positive really of busing is to help experienced players speed up the gearing of an alt. But the issue is nobody cares who they are busing or where the gold comes from for the bus. People just want the gold. With the Western release not linked to any ID, the botting issue is intrinsically linked to the busing issue, and therefore also intrinsically linked, if I can say the word, to the RMT issue. So it can be broken down into two key areas for myself: community damage and economy damage. Community damage. So this leads to a few key issues. People end up ditching friends to maximize income, or feel a need to as to not fall behind the buses, as it were. We end up with a pool of players in the endgame that have not actually executed raid mechanics on a regular basis. This results in a worse pool of players to choose from when going through Party Finder. The knock-on effect therefore is that pug experiences become so painful people are pushed into statics. The knock-on effect of that is that the average Joe who might want to get into Lost Ark won't know how to find a static, and they'll end up struggling to find a game of any decent quality via the Party Finder and end up becoming frustrated and quit. Moving on to economy damage, as highlighted by the huge wave of bans, busing is being used as a front for RMT transactions, which is inflating the cost of everything. Legit players are being priced out of items due to RMT gold flooding the market. The result is going back to the community damage I talked about previously. It's a player base who feel builds and gear are unobtainable due to high prices. This will lead to players leaving the game. Honestly, personally, I'm just not a fan of busing on any levels, especially when the Western release doesn't have accounts linked to IDs, like the Korean version, which would stop bots using the busing service to level accounts and therefore sell gold. Anybody using RMT should be banned. I don't think anybody really disagrees on that. I don't care how small or how big, because it's all part of the same issue. There should be no sympathy on that. It ruins the game for the legit players. Hell, it's borderline cripples the F2P players, as you just can't generate the amount of gold to keep up with RMT priced inflation. I hope the current banning phase scares people into not using RMT and also makes people in the Western release think twice about busing. I mean, for me, half the fun of these games is getting a bunch of randoms and accomplishing the raid. I mean, it's always been some of my best experiences. However, even I have felt the need to be pushed into statics because it just feels like the pool of some of the players up top, it's just not great, and people don't really communicate well, and even I'm now looking at statics for all my characters. The accomplishment comes from just hearing that loot sound when a boss dies at the end of the raid. Watching Netflix while he dies it's just not the same, is it really? Anyway, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that, because I know a lot of high level players, you know, they're ditching their friends and they've started busing with 2 or 3 people, as few as people as possible, to generate the maximum yield from the bus. But for me, it's just not great for the game, and I do hope something's done about it, because I don't think in the West there's an appetite to have IDs linked to accounts, and therefore I think Smilegate are going to have to do something different, maybe ban busing in the Western release. It might be a way to go. A lot of people might disagree with that, but that's just where I stand. Super quick video on busing. I just wanted to talk about it because a lot of people have been talking about it recently. But look, if you're taking more than the price of the raid in the bus, as far as I'm concerned, I think, you know, those people are borderline dodgy. in all honesty, and yeah, if they get banned, they get banned. I think it's healthier for the game. All right, take care, peace out, and yeah, leave a comment about what the weather's like in your city. Bye.